Hi, and welcome to Earth 513. This is Phil, your narrator, and we have a new player with us, Alex. Welcome to the team.
Hey, everyone.
So Alex will be playing. Well, why don't you introduce us to your character and maybe a little bit of info. You don't have to know a lot about it, but yeah, just a bit of info on who you're playing.
Yeah, I'm going to play X-23, or also known as Laura Kinney.
Yeah.
Yes, she's like like with Wolverine, that persona,
hmm
and I think she's pretty much a badass person.
Cool, cool. Yeah, that's a pretty good summary of Laura for sure. Great. So we're going to start right away because we're going to get you in the game. The game's already started and we wanted to introduce your character. Are you ready, Alex?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to set the stage for you. For a moment, everything is dark. Okay, so you can't see anything. It's pitch blackness everywhere. And then you can hear screaming. And there's the smell. And smell, it feels like a weird word, but that's kind of what it feels like. You can smell fear. And you can almost taste like this metallic taste, and your instinct tells you that you're tasting blood. And you can feel blood hitting your face. And it's drippy, it's gross probably. And then there's nothing. But there's this slight humming sound, okay, like a little buzzing in your ears. And then you can hear voices. So you open your eyes, and then suddenly you're aware of the environment around you. So there's this big, bright bulb of light, okay, and it's shining in your eyes. And that's what you realize was making it hard for you to see. And then as your eyes adjust, you can see these figures hanging over you, and they look like they're dressed like nurses, And there's one man in particular that you see who's, you can guess, is the doctor. He's the one that's doing most of the operation and using the tools. And he's blonde with blue eyes. And when you see him, you have this weird instinct, okay? You realize suddenly that as you start taking the environment in, that you don't really have any memory of anything, really. You don't know who you are, and that's really scary. You don't even know your name, but this man looks really familiar to you. And you don't really know what his name either is, but when you look at him, you have two weird contradictory emotions. One of them tells you dad. So he looks, you don't know if he's your actual dad, but he gives you off that he's some kind of fatherly figure to you. But the other feeling you have, which is even stronger than that, is this big feeling of fear. And, you have this childlike instinct that you want to make him proud, but you don't know why. Okay? And so he's standing over you. And he's bringing these tools towards you, and you feel that feeling of fear accumulating in you. But you don't really know what's going on. And as that fear starts building up and he's getting closer with these metallic tools that you don't recognize, there's the voice of the nurses that are telling him, we can't do this without anesthesia. That's inhuman. And he looks at you with really cold eyes and he says, no anesthesia. We're doing this cold. And so the nurses have this look of, fear and concern, and they're looking at you, you know, and you can tell there's like that human side of them that's really concerned for you. And he tells everybody to leave the room. So everybody, all the nurses, you know, one of them, you can tell she's trying to stop. She doesn't want to leave, but they all leave the room. And he looks at you and you can't move, and you realize that you're tied down. Okay. And he looks at you and he pulls up this tool in front of you, and it has like, you know, like a metallic blade that's spinning. And that fear starts building up inside of you. And now it's almost like it's a taste, it's a nausea, and you're feeling that fear. And then he leans towards you and he whispers, "Do you feel pain, X-23? Do you feel fear?" And then as for you, it's almost a weapon, gets closer to you, he says, "This is for my father." And then suddenly there's this searing pain, and then it's black again, so you can't see anything again. And then suddenly you start smelling the stench of garbage. Okay, and it's really, really strong. But you also feel really hungry. So despite that really gross smell, there's a part of you that's almost hungry for it because it smells like nutrients. It smells like food. And so you open your eyes and you notice from the feelings that you're getting, and suddenly you're starting to be aware, there's a bright light, but this time it's not a medical light. It's a sun, like an afternoon kind of sun. And the smell, now you recognize, is this big, you know, those big industrial garbage bins? And you realize that you were hiding behind that garbage bin, and you have kind of this really gross, old, ripped blanket. So you can guess that you were probably sleeping behind this. And there's a brick wall. So you start realizing you're kind of in an alley, and you can kind of recognize that this is a city you know. And so your instinct already tells you this is New York. And you can already start hearing kind of the noises of cars and taxis as all of your senses start slowly coming in. And what do you want to do? That's how your story starts.
That's how it started. Okay, so like really hidden, and I'm hungry. Can I just go and grab some bagel?
Yeah, sure. Okay, so this is the fun thing.
Surrounding where I am in New York.
Yes, exactly. So the first thing you're going to do if you go to your profile is you're going to roll a vigilance, because that's what you want to roll when you want to detect things. So you can roll your 3 dice, take the total of your 3 dice, and then add your bonus number, so that number that's next to your non-combat.
Okay. I have rolled 8, so I have my blue dice is a 4, my 2 orange dice is 2.
Great.
So 8.
So you got an 8. And what's your bonus for your vigilance?
Vigilance is at 2.
Vigilance is 2. Okay, great. So 8, 2, that gives you 10. And it's not a really tough roll, honestly. I'm not going to make it challenging because, I mean, you're just looking around. So we're going to say you beat the score. And so what are you looking for? I'm going to give you everything because you got a decent roll for that.
The first thing is that, like, since I was hungry, I think I'm really looking for just some food and get that energy. I'll handle my hunger first.
Yes.
Priority. If I'm low energy, it won't work.
Great. So you did a vigilance and you beat the score. Okay. So the things you notice when you think food. There's the garbage can, of course. You could technically dumpster dive if you want. That would be lower risk. Or you can see that, so you were behind let's say the bins here. You were behind it. If you look through to the other side, you can see a busy street. So if you go for that, you might be able to to find a restaurant of some kind. What would you like to do?
Yeah. Do I have money or I don't?
You can check your pockets if you want. It won't take a roll because, I mean, you can just put your hands in your pockets. No, you don't have money. Well, you might have like a few pennies, maybe.
Okay, no, okay. So maybe I'll go to the street and borrow from like a hot dog.
Yeah, totally fair. Borrowing from a store makes sense. So, okay, so yeah, so you go and you walk a little bit further, and you see there's kind of like a fast food restaurant, like a burger joint, that kind of thing. And so, would you like to try that one? Or
The
do you
sitting
want?
restaurant, or is there a cart?
Oh yeah, it's a sitting restaurant.
No, I'll try go for a cart where I can easily
Okay.
just
Yeah.
walk by.
So you continue, and you do see it's New York. So you go a little bit further. People are starting to look at you, though. So before I talk about the cart, what do you look like? You decide. I'm assuming your claws are in and hidden, but what do you think you're
Hidden,
dressed
hidden,
as?
yeah. Probably have ripped jeans and a dirty t-shirt, something
Cool.
like this. That's how it
Yeah,
is.
that makes sense. So nothing too shocking, but enough for them to be like, this is a bit weird because it's. I mean, I know New York, but I'm not a pro of New York. But let's say it's kind of like the businessy district. So
Okay.
people are looking at you, but they're not shocked. Like in New York, there's a bunch of different kinds of people, but they're, let's say, aware of you. So that's something to keep in mind. But you look. How old do you want to say you are? You choose the age as well.
Okay, it's not.
I know she's like a teen
Really?
in the books. She's about a teen, but you could choose if you want her to be older. Up to you.
She can be, and like in this, let's stay with the books and
Okay,
like older teenager. Yeah.
so like early 20s or something, or younger. It's up to you. Doesn't have to be. We could say like
19.
19. Yeah, that makes sense. And Flo, you said you were like, oh, you said you were 21, right? Because she wanted to be able to drink in the States.
Okay, let's say 21.
Yeah.
We'll be able to drink it and
Yeah.
say, let's say 21. 21 as well.
So both 21. Okay. So yeah, for the viewers, it's because the other player Flo is here in the background. So yeah. So okay. So we can say you're both 21. Mental note. So they see a 21-year-old something, torn jeans, that kind of thing. You don't look very out of place, but you do seem a little bit out of place for the business district, but nothing too unusual. And as you continue walking, there's one of those classic, pretzel stands that has those like big pretzels, those big salty pretzels, and some hot dogs of some kind. Now, you have a few choices here. You could try to sneak behind him. That would be an agility roll, or you could go head forwards and try to make a run for it. Your call, but I just want to give you an idea of the kinds of options you had. You could also theoretically punch the guy out and steal his card. That's also something you could do. But as I've told the other players, the moment you start antagonizing people, that's when you become an anti-hero. And if you go really bad, then you become a villain. And the moment you're no longer a hero, you no longer have your karma points. That's not necessarily the end of the world, but that's something to be aware of if you choose to go bad. So what would you like to do?
I think I'll go with agility and trying to being sneaky about it.
Yeah, okay. So I'll have you roll your 3 dice and add to that your modifier, and we'll see if you manage to do it.
I have 13, like 3, 4, 6.
Okay. And with your modifier?
No combat for agility, it's 3.
So what's your big total?
16.
16. Okay. Yeah, you beat it very easily. Okay. So you used agility, you beat it. So likely what happened is you instinctively have a good sneak ability. Okay, that's kind of your instinct. You have almost this animalistic instinct of survival, especially right now because you're really hungry. So what you did is you waited till people turned away. And this is New York. So there are times when people are very aware of everyone. And then there's other times like business period where everyone's just going to work and they want to pretend you don't exist. If anything, the fact that you look, kind of disheveled, they're probably avoiding eye contact because they're thinking you're going to ask for money or something. So that's working in your favor. And the pretzel stand guy was paying attention to other people. So you managed to sneak behind And you got a really, really good score. So I'm going to let you decide. You have free-for-all buffet. What would you like to take?
We'll take hot dog, pretzel, and let's say 2 pretzel, a drink, hot dog, something to go as well. Like I can have some stash of it on me.
I love it. So X-23 starts the game. She has a full meal. And yeah, so I guess you're making a run for it? With all the food?
So I'm leaving.
Or are you just casually walking away with the food?
I'll just casually walk away with like I'll eat fast, casually walk away with a drink and a hot dog, like if I was just doing my regular route. But
Just doing your regular thing. So
away.
the guy looks at you, but you had a good enough score that he's confused. He's like, I don't remember selling her this stuff, but there's a bunch of stands like this in New York. So he has this weird feeling, but he hesitates just long enough because he's talking with a customer that the moment he turns around and goes like, hey, wait a minute, you're already a little bit too far. And he's starting to have a bit of a lineup because it's busy period. So he just gave up. He's really pissed, but he gave up. So he might have taken a mental note of who you are, but he let you go. What do you want to do next?
Now, since I'm still, I'm not starving anymore. I guess I want to understand like what happened. So, can I guess I would have I would sniff myself to see like is there any.
You can absolutely do that. You have a really good nose.
Blood or like any like because I'm thinking I go to hospital like any drugs like something on me or blood. Just to help me understand like what's going on. I was coming from.
Yeah. And you said you had jeans and a t-shirt?
Yeah, like a t-shirt. Like I'm assuming it's like summer, the weather. Is it summer? Like
summer.
What's the season?
Yeah.
Okay, summer. So yeah, just a t-shirt and some jeans. Yeah.
Cool.
And sneakers.
No logo or anything. Just like kind of plain black or gray.
Black. Yeah, black, gray.
Okay. Cool. Thanks. I just want a visual and for our listeners. Great. Okay. I'll have you roll one more vigilance non-combat just to see what's going on. So roll your 3 dice and then add your vigilance modifier.
Okay.
So you can see what you're sensing on yourself.
14.
14. Okay, great.
Yeah.
And okay, yeah, you beat it. You are good. So yes, you've noticed a few things. The weird thing is you're noticing it not on yourself, but everything else. So the first thing you notice, you smell yourself and there's nothing too unusual, okay? There's a scent that's familiar to you and you kind of have these mini flashbacks of like blinks of your past, okay? So you can see yourself in what seems to be a school with other kids your age and they're laughing with you, or I guess not kids anymore but like young adults. They're laughing with you and you feel this moment of this euphoric feeling of happiness and of being a part of something, okay? And so that smell, because smell usually brings memories, so you have that really good feeling of you're part of something, and you instinctively feel, especially with that weird flashback you had before, that you already know you had a really hard time. Whoever this father figure was, he clearly did some really bad to you. And so you have this instinct that you don't trust people. But that smell, that familiar scent, it smelled like the school, the smell of paper, the smell of, a little bit, like a very small scent of who were clearly friends to you. And so you can smell all of that. Again, this is just because you don't have a normal human nose. So you're smelling all this and you feel really good. But then suddenly, because you're being so attentive, you also notice the smells of everything else around you. It almost smells alien. So it smells like New York, but it smells just a little different to New York. Like, almost like when you're in a dream and the world seems real, but it also seems fake. Okay? So what would you like to do about that information?
And just to clarify, like when I smell, I assume like I just saw myself. I'm not really wounded. It's like just
No, you're not wounded.
normal floor. Okay.
Yeah, in the
I'm not wounded,
flashback,
okay.
you were clearly in a bad shape, but in the current moment, you're not wounded. You seem perfectly okay.
So what would I do? I guess I'm in New York, and do I know anyone in New York? That's I don't remember. That's the
You don't
thing. Yeah.
remember. Yeah. If you want, you can try to roll intelligence to see if you try really, really hard, if you can remember something, but it's going to be a really challenging roll because, yeah, you're amnesiac. But you're starting to have flashbacks, so maybe you can give it a try.
Or maybe like you said, could I go to a college campus like school? I don't know. Maybe it's still
Yeah,
something.
you can absolutely do that.
Okay.
Okay, so next step is you're going to try to look for a
NYU.
college.
I
You're going to
don't
look for
know.
NYU. Yeah, that's fair because you kind of remember a little bit
College,
in
yeah.
New York. Yeah, so that's what you're going to do. Okay, so you had decided that based on your flashbacks of a school context, and it seemed to make you feel good, so you decided to wander the streets of New York and to try to find a university. And so you're wandering around and you're looking for that, and you stumble upon a school. It's not a university, but you stumble upon a high school. Okay. That's the closest thing to a university that you stumble upon. And you see this big, those big signs that they have in front of schools with the school's name. And it's called Midtown School of Science and Technology. Now, I don't know if you're both as nerdy as I am, so I don't know if it tells you anything, but it's a certain school that we've seen in the films. And so it's the afternoon at this point, or I guess, no, it'd be more like later in the or early evening. And so students start coming out of the school, okay? And kind of like your flashback, you're feeling this urge of positivity. There's kids that are laughing, kids that are happy, kids that are excited, and it's starting to give you a bit of that feeling that you had, that really good feeling. And you start having a bit of a flashback, okay? And so you have this flashback of yourself, and I mean, you see through your eyes of being at this other school that you were starting to remember. And there are a bunch of, same thing, there are a bunch of kids having fun and everything. But in this flashback, you're feeling really anxious, okay? Kind of like first day at school feeling. And there's this gruffy voice next to you that tells you, Laura, I understand how you're feeling, but it's going to be okay. And so I'll give you a choice. Would you like to turn towards the voice?
Yes.
Wasn't too hard of a choice for this one. And so you see this man, and he's really gruffy, and he's got these big, hairy, muscular arms, and he's got, his hair is a little crazy, and he's wearing this checkered shirt, okay? And us folks that like the comics, like the movies, we know this guy's Wolverine, okay? And so Wolverine, or Logan, which is his more common name, so Logan looks at you and he says, now, we share the same DNA. So I understand what you're feeling. When I first came here, when Xavier brought me here, he wanted me to socialize and he wanted me to hang out with these people. And I didn't feel like it. I wanted to be by myself. I felt like everyone would be safer if I just stayed clear. And I know that's how you're feeling. But the thing is, these are good people. And you don't know it yet, but these people, they're going to be your closest family. They're going to be your closest friends, and they're going to take care of you. So, at the very least, Laura, I'd like you to give it a try, okay? Can I trust you to give it a go?
Oh, the question is, do I give a go?
Yeah, it's up to you. Do you want to give it a chance?
I give it a chance. It's the only thing I have. It's my pass. I said, well.
Yeah. Okay. So you give it a go, and you kind of get a bit of a flash forward, if you will, but you can see yourself kind of very timidly going up to these people and trying to befriend them. There's one girl in particular that you're stuck with in the dorms. She can go through walls, and her name's Kitty. And she's a little bit annoyingly positive, and she's kind of gets on your nerves sometimes, but you can tell she wants to be friends, and she does her very best, and she looks out for you. And so she slowly starts presenting you to the other kids and stuff, and over time you start getting a bit closer to them and all this stuff, right? And so you're seeing these flashbacks, and it makes you feel good. You have this feeling of belonging, and it makes you feel safe. And then you hear this voice in your mind, this very confident, masculine, kind of fatherly voice, and it tells you, Laura, can you hear me? What do you do and what do you say?
Wait, who's that?
Yeah, exactly. And suddenly you're kind of rushed into the present, okay? And so that's all you remember so far. And then the voice says again, Laura, can you hear me? And you realize it's not from your flashback, but it's right now.
Is the voice like physically near me, or is it really in my head?
Yeah, it's resonating inside your head.
Okay. I keep asking, like, who's that? Who's that? Who are you?
Okay. And it
And I'm
tells
just
you,
standing trying to like get an answer because I can't focus on something else. I'm just trying to figure out like who's in my head.
yeah. And now kids are looking at you, the kids that are leaving, and they're looking at you because you realize you've been yelling this out loud. And then the voice tells you, remember. And suddenly you get this feeling, this flash feeling, and then suddenly you're pulled into a flashback again. Okay. And in this flashback, you see that same man, that big muscular man, that man that you feel really comfortable with, right? And he kind of pushes you to the side really violently, and you can feel it like you're there. Okay. You feel yourself falling to the floor. You feel yourself getting all scratched up and everything, but you also feel that feeling of, I'm basically indestructible. It doesn't bother me. But as you look upwards, you see all of these. Well, for one, the sky is really dark, and you see this big planet in the sky that looks like Earth, but it's this bluish weird color. And from it is coming this army of robotic alien creatures, okay? And they look humanoid, but there's just a bunch of them. It's almost like a swarm of bees, but these are human sized. And they're all going towards you. Then suddenly, as you look around, you start realizing everything around you is on fire. Everything's destroyed. The buildings are crumbling. And you can see a bunch of people that are in these kind of, costumes with big X's on them. And they're trying to fight these things. But these things are coming in fast, and they're attacking. What do you want to do?
That's all a memory. I'm still being watched by everyone.
For all you know, in that feeling, it feels like it's the present moment.
Okay. I think I'm going to go to like refuge to someone. Mm-hmm. I just want to somewhere, and in the building, I'm just going in the library.
Yeah, fair. So you rush into what used to be a school, but it's all torn into pieces. And you rush towards what was the library because it makes you feel safe. And these robots are just coming in fast, and they're just rushing in. And they're shooting these beams from their heads, and you're seeing a bunch of people that you feel you have affection for just be obliterated. They just kind of, explode. It's like a disgusting mess, right? Mm-hmm. So you're running to hide. And then you hear that voice in your head again, and it says, Laura, you're the only one that can do this. You're the only one that can do this. And then you have Wolverine that rushes towards you, and he says, Laura, it's either you or me. One of us is going to have to go and find a way to get out of here. And the problem is, I need to be here. I need to keep these people safe. So I think you're our only option. And I know I can't ask you of this, but this is our only option. And we cut to the scene where the planet starts kind of fading in and out. And so the planet disappears. But suddenly these aliens, there are these alien robotic things, they're destroying everything. But then a moment later, there's another in the sky, and this other planet appears. But this time, the other planet isn't that weird blue color. It looks like a normal Earth, right? And then this big, muscular dude, okay, this big, muscular, metallic dude comes up, okay? And he has this big, thick Russian accent that I won't be able to do. He's like, Laura, are you ready? Do you want to follow him?
I guess so. I'll follow him.
So you follow him, okay? And then he takes you into this kind of jet kind of plane vehicle, right? And as all of these robots are attacking, they don't right away pay attention to you. And you go in, and then the friend that you had in the very beginning, the girl that is called Kitty, now you seem to be much closer friends, and she says, okay, I'm going to do it. And she touches the ship, and then everything, the whole ship and all of you, you start kind of phasing, okay? So you start being able to go through things. And in a moment, it rushes up into the sky like a rocket, okay? And it goes super, super fast towards the other Earth, right? And then the ship starts shaking. Further it gets from the Earth, it starts shaking and everything. And she's like, I don't think I can hold it. And she's trying to keep it as transparent as possible so it can push through, but there's still a resistance, right? And the big metallic guy says, it's okay, I think we're close enough. And so they open up the ship, and then a bunch of pressure starts coming, but then Kitty's trying to keep you all out of phase, so out of contact with that pressure. And he takes you and he says, Laura, are you ready? And before you can say anything, he picks you and he throws you really, really fast. And so to your best of your capacity, you try to kind of be dynamic, and you shoot towards that planet. And then the pressure of it, okay, because now Kitty can't, have contact with you, the pressure of the air, all of the, the dynamics between the two planets, you don't know the science behind it, but it starts feeling really painful, and then suddenly you catch on fire. And you can feel this huge burning sensation. And suddenly you see that planet getting closer and closer. And then there's contact, and then you see nothing. So that was first session with Alex.
And wait for the next one.
Yeah. All right, so that was Earth 513. We hopefully by this point in time when I put this video out have a Patreon. So check out our Patreon, like and subscribe, all those cheesy stuff, and we'll catch you in the next game. Thanks, team. Hi there, viewers and listeners. Thanks for listening. On the behalf of myself and my crew, I'd really like to thank you for watching, and it's free. Go like and subscribe, the classics. And if you want to go the extra mile, you can actually go to our Patreon, which is patreon.com/Earth513, and you can either subscribe for free. We'll put some little updates of things coming up, etc., communicate with you, etc. But if you're willing to pay a little, contribute a little extra, we'll be giving you a bit of extras. So we'll have some behind the scenes content. We'll give you access to recordings before they come out, unedited. So with all my mistakes, and we'll be adding also some interactive elements. I'm inspired by a bunch of awesome actual play YouTubers out there who do stuff like allow you to create NPCs, so either names or visual appearances, that kind of stuff. So we'll probably figure that in. We'll probably have some voting systems for decisions. Maybe you can throw a wrench into our players' game. We'll figure it out together. But yeah, it all starts at Patreon. I believe we've set it up for a $5 one, so super low cost. And eventually we'll have other tiers so you can contribute even more, so look into it. All right. Thanks again, and have a nice one. Fitz, I really hate to do this, but can you give her something to protect herself? Fitz looks at you, and he's still grumpy from the time that you were a bit rude to him and tried to fight him away, so he's like, really? And he gives you something. It's basically a taser. Now,
taser, okay.
Yeah. so now...
Can I have a sword?
Am I sensing that I'm in danger? The agents have part of my shirt, but they're still running after me.
Yeah, so now they're like you can feel their breath on you. They're so close, but they haven't been able to grab you yet.
What do you want? You're in my way.
I stare at her because I didn't expect her to
Yeah, fair.
jump around me. Like,
So you want to step forward and tase her?